This conference will now be recorded.
Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Plan Your Trade Your Plan Daily Currency Review with Great White. Welcome you all to a beautiful new month. And as always, before we start, I'd like you to take your time to go through this disclaimer and be acquainted with what you're about to get into. Forex trading foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubt. So if you have any need to get across to me, these are my Telegram. This is my Telegram handle and this is my Twitter handle, and I will be glad to attend to any of your questions. So having said that, we'll start off our daily review today. Starting off our daily review today being the 1st of April 2019, being a Monday. We have major high impact news coming in by 1:30 on the US dollar. That's the core retail sales and retail sales. Then by 3 p.m. we have ISM manufacturing PMI. Then by 7:55, the Bank of Canada's governor, he'll be talking. The text of the speech is due at the release time listed. The speech is scheduled for delivery 15 minutes later. Where is he speaking at? Mining Symposium. Okay? And at the Mining Symposium, we have audience questions expected. So these are the major fundamental, high impact fundamental news releases we have for today. So the next thing we'll go over to is we'll go down to our chart. And as always, we'll start with the dollar index. Like I said, the dollar index last week is preparing for a head and shoulders pattern, as you can see. The right shoulder is in the process of being formed. So knowing that, we go down to our 4-hour chart, and as you can see, we're already having a bit of a pullback. So let's get down to business on this pair. So looking at this pair, we have two support levels coming in at 97.01 and 96.97. Should these levels hold as support, then we may see a bounce back up to this trend line. So should any of this price come down to this level and find support, you may see a move back up to this trend line. But if these levels fail as support, then you may be seeing price come down to either this area down here, that is between 96.74 to 96.69 area. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the USDCHF. Looking at the USDCHF, let's start to see how last week's candle closed. Last week's candle closed as the weekly candle seems to have closed like, I could call this an inside candle. It's closed as an inside candle. But there is still a bit of, as you can see on the weekly, this bearish candle, last week's candle was within the range of this bearish candle. So last week's close seems more like an indecision close, if you ask me. But on the daily, as I noted last week, this bearish candle has been holding price within its range, as you can see. So knowing that the top of this range is 1.0012, and the bottom of this range comes in at 0.9895. 0.9895. So these are the range on this pair. And also noteworthy, we have the daily 50 moving average coming in at 99.82. So they may give a bit of a challenge to this. And if you observe closely on the daily candles, you're having wicks to the high, which point to a potential drop. So knowing that, we go down to our 4-hour chart, and if we go down to our 4-hour chart, we can see we have a resistance zone between 99.66 and 99.74, and we have our first support at 99.20, 0.9920, and the next support comes in at 0.9906 and 0.9895. So this is the game plan. Should this resistance hold, price may drop back down here. And if price comes here and they find the right kind of, the buyers, they get a high inflow of buy orders, then it may go back up. But if price comes down here and this level fails to hold, then we may see price come down to this place. Or we may see price attempt to break over here and test this second resistance level. So these are the plausible game plans on this pair. And the resistance level to the top, that's the second resistance level to the top, comes in at, let me quickly get this done, comes in at 1.011, while it's a resistance zone, while the next one comes in at 0.9990. So these are the two areas of interest on the USDCHF. But mind you, like I said, the USDCHF seems to be in a sort of a range, as you can see. So the next pair we'll be looking at is, no, I didn't look at gold. Let me take a look at gold. Seems I jumped gold. So looking at gold from the daily point of view, well, price seems to be in a bearish move. As you can see, price broke out of this rising channel and now seems to be in a bit of a consolidation. So knowing that, we drop down to our intraday chart. And if we drop down to our intraday chart, this is the game plan. This is our first resistance comes in at 1.1299. Our support zone comes in at 1.1286.06 and 1.1281.14. So this is what we might be expecting. Should price drop down to this support zone and find good contracts and buy orders, then it may rise to test this resistance. Or should price run up to this resistance, or should price run up to this resistance and it holds, then you may see price drop. But should price get to this resistance and you get a break above, you wait for a retest, and if you get the right kind of a bullish evidence, you take your long up to this other area. But if not, these are the plausible scenarios of the gold. But for now, gold seems to be pretty bearish, but you may experience a bit of a consolidation on this pair. Then the next one we'll be looking at is the EURUSD. Looking at the EURUSD from, let's look at it. It's still sitting above 61.8 of 1.0341 to 1.2554 at 1.1186. You can see, still finding support above that level. So If I go down to the daily chart, how did the Friday's candle close? It closed as a sort of a doji. Closed as a sort of a doji, but above a support area. So I go down to my intraday chart on the 4-hour. So looking at my intraday chart on the 4-hour, price is currently at a support zone. Support zone comes in between 1.1220 and 1.1210. That's the first support zone, and it seems to be moving away from that level. The first level of resistance comes in at 1.1261, while the second level of resistance comes in at 1.1284. So this is the game plan on this pair. Should price rally into this area and find heavy selling pressure, it may drop from there back to this place. But should price rally into this area and break above, expect a retest, then a move higher. Or price may drop back down to retest this support before moving higher. But should this support zone be broken, the next level of support comes in at 1.1194 to 1.1177 on the Euro USD. Get rid of this. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPUSD. Looking at the GBPUSD from a daily point of view, look at it from a weekly. Last week candle closed pretty bearish, so we may expect a bit of a pullback into it this week. So we may be expecting a bit of a higher time frame pullback. So it's very simple. You go to the high of last week, come down to the low of last week with your fill, and basically play out the retracement, because we may see a bit of a retracement. So I go down to my daily chart, and if I go down to my daily chart, the 38.2 comes in at 1.3092, the 50% comes in at 1.313127, while the 61.8 comes in at 3162. So knowing that, I go down to my intraday chart, my 4-hour chart. As you can see, the GBPUSD is moving up a support zone, and that support zone is between 1.3000 and 1.2959. So on that level, where is price moving up to? The first level of resistance on this pair comes in at 1.3094. It's more like a resistance zone for this GBPUSD. It's more like a resistance zone. So you expect we might be seeing price run up, into this area. And if we find bearish evidence, it may drop out of there. But should price move above this resistance zone, a retest, then we may see a move higher to test this falling trend, this falling channel. We may see price a move higher above this resistance zone here, may see price run up to test this top side of this falling channel. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPUSD. Looking at the GBPUSD from a daily point of view, Friday's candle closed more like an indecision candle, but we are looking at what might be a possible bullish drive. As you can see, this morning star pattern is still in play. So we have two falling trend lines acting as resistance, knowing that we drop down to our 4-hour chart. And if we drop down to our 4-hour chart, as we can see, price is moving away from this resistance zone between 0.8631 and 0.8649. The first level of support for this pair comes in at 0.8578, while the second level of support comes in at 0.8551. So we may see price drop down into here and move higher. Should this level fail, the next level comes in at this level. So those are the plausible areas of interest on this pair. But should any of these two areas give way as support, then price may be coming down towards this lower zone at this point. Next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPCHF. Looking at the GBPCHF from the daily point of view, we say that price is bouncing off this rising support trend line, as you can see clearly here. Although Friday's candle closed with a little bit of bearish impact. So knowing that, go down to our intraday chart, drop down to our 4-hour time frame. Looking at our 4-hour time frame, the first level of resistance comes in between 1.3038 and 1.3075. So what are we possibly expecting a move? As you can see, price is already on the move. Should price come into this area and find resistance, it may drop down. But should price break above that resistance level, then we're seeing price test this trend line and the lower end of this resistance here at 1.3134. So that is it for this pair. This GBPCHF. For now, the pair seems to be bouncing or moving off this rising support trend line and this support here. So we have more like a double confluence on this pair playing out here. And the next pair we'll be looking at is the AUDUSD. Looking at the AUDUSD from the daily point of view, we might say that price is, let me get this well drawn. Well, we can say that price has a destination with this falling trend line. As you can see, price seems to be heading up towards that area for now. So, knowing that, I go down to my intraday chart on the 4-hour. So, my first, you see this falling trend line and this resistance between 0.7130 and 0.7148. That is the first obstacle for the buyers on this pair. Should they move above that area, they have another falling trend line coming in around this area. So for now, the AUDUSD seems to be a sort of a range. As you can see, it seems as if it might even be, it's a sort of a range, but the highs are getting lower, but the lows still seem to be holding out flat. So we may get a break to the upside, but it's not very clear for now, given the current location of the AUDUSD. The next pair we'll be looking at is the USDJPY. Looking at the USDJPY from the daily point of view, you can see this reversal pattern might still be in play. As you can see, price for now seems to be in a bullish move to the upside. Next, so knowing that, I go down to my intraday chart. So if I go down to my intraday chart, price currently is at this falling trend line on the 1-hour, on the 4-hour, and there's a resistance zone just above between 11116 and 11127. As long as this resistance level holds, you may see price drop down towards the support level here at 110.64. Should this support level hold, then we may see price strike the trend line again. But should it fail, then we may see price come down to this point. A move above this trend line and this resistance zone may see price test this primary trend line here. So for now, the USDJPY seems to be bullish but at a resistance. So you may see a dip first before the continuation to the upside. Next pair we'll be looking at is the EURGBP. I will be looking at it first from the daily point of view. Friday's candle seems to have closed as a bullish engulfing, as you can see here, which points to the fact that we might be seeing a bit of an upward movement on this pair. So, knowing that, I go down to my 4-hour. If you look at this USDJPY chart, you can basically see that there seems to be a sort of a double bottom here. So, above 1.25 and price may move higher. So, this is what you might expect. Should price break above here and retest and it holds as support, we may see price move higher. But should price get rejected from this area, it is then coming down towards this support at 1.23.89 to 1.2375. That is it for this pair, this euro yen. The next pair we'll be looking at is the pound yen. Looking at the pound yen, look at it from the daily point of view to get an idea. Kind of like a mixed signal here, but candle I would say it's bullish or bearish. But when we look at it, we can see that price seems to have found support of this trend line. Yes, from here. Let me get this drawn up. Price seems to have found support of this trend line. So there is a possibility that it may extend higher to 1.4606 to 1.4651. So we may see price do this into this area. If this area holds as resistance, then it may come down. But should that area fail to hold as resistance, then we may see price move above, test and move higher. Or price may try to retest this area. If it breaks below, it will retest and take the move down. Next pair we'll be looking at is EURAUD. Looking at the EURAUD from the daily point of view, say the price is sitting at a support trend line for now, but still has a sort of a bearish bias. Go down to my 4-hour chart. Go down to my 4-hour chart, excuse me. Go down to my 4-hour chart. Price currently is at a support structure. That's like I'll say a support zone. That's where price for the time being is at. So what we expected, a move, should price go below 57.69, his next support comes in at 1.5738. But should this trend line, this falling trend line be broken, then expect something. Should this falling trend line be broken, to the upside, expect a retest and a move higher on this pair. A move higher to either 1.5899 or 1.5921. So we might see price come up to this trend line. Should this resistance falling trend line here be broken to the upside? If not, we may see price drop down to 1.5738 or 1.5676. Next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPAUD. The GBPAUD from the daily point of view, price seems to be bearish, but we might see a bit of a correction as price is currently sitting on a support structure at 1.8304. Should price fail to go below here, then we may see price come up to either 1.8447 or 1.8533. But should this support give way, then we know that price is coming down to this area. So these are the likely scenarios we have on this pair. this area and down. Next pair we'll be looking at is the USDCAD. Looking at the USDCAD from a daily point of view, price dropped heavily, and if you look at it from the daily point of view, we have a very big bearish engulfing candle on the daily, and being close to this rising trend line, we might see a bit of a correction into between the 38.2 and the 61.8 of this Friday's move. So knowing that, I go down to my intraday chart on my 4-hour. So my first level of resistance, because as you can see, price is at a support. First level of resistance comes in at 1.3375. The next level comes in at this my moving average, while the next level comes at a retest of this falling trend line. So these are, for now, the USDCAD is bearish, but we might expect a bit of a correction to either 50% of this bearish candle. Next pair I'll be looking at is the GBPCAD. Looking at the GBPCAD from a daily point of view, you can see price broke below this trend line. So we might be seeing a bit of a rally back up to retest that broken trend line. So the next pair we'll look at is the 4-hour chart on the intraday. So knowing this, GBPCAD has its first resistance zone between 1.7421 and 1.7246, while the first support comes in at 1.7356. So for now, we may see a bit of a rally. Into this area. If price gets rejected, we may see a move back down. So that is it for today's daily Forex review on Plan Your Trade, Trade Your Plan with Great White for the 1st of March 2014. Wishing you all a beautiful trading day ahead and a lovely trading month. Thank you all.